The Nets haven't had the best start to their season this year. Things are looking pretty rough with Kyrie's suspension, a new coach, and so much more drama. There was a bit of chaos even before the season started though, because of Kevin Durant's sudden trade request, but he's recently spilled all the tea on the whole thing, and let's just say that things are getting a little messy. Let's get right into it. First up, let's look at where the Nets and KD stand right now. If you're a Nets fan, you already know things aren't looking too good. When they lost to the Sacramento Kings in a historic 153-121 game, that was a bad sign. This is the first time in years the Kings were able to score this high, and it's also enough to tell us where the Nets are standing now. In the midst of uncertainty, they need a bit of hope, but it looks like even that is shattered. How far can they go on like this? How much more is Kevin Durant expected to take for this team? Durant is a core member of the Nets and has led them to countless victories in the past. With Irving suspended, the attention's on him, but he needs a good team to be able to shine through. The two-time MVP opened up about how he's been struggling as a member of the Nets right now. He also talked about his recent controversial past when he was adamant about requesting a trade last summer. He revealed some deep details about this whole thing, which was on the front page of every NBA news reporting outlet for weeks. People were dying to know why and how this happened. This is the first time KD has opened up about this and spoken so candidly in an interview. He also talked about instability in the Nets, his confidence in the new head coach, as well as his relationship with Irving. Now, why did KD request a trade a few months ago? We need to know about the past in order to understand the future. People speculate that Kevin Durant might request trade soon, and everyone's just waiting to pounce on that opportunity. For now, let's get into what the Nets forward said about his seemingly abrupt trade request in the summer. Many people thought it was a hard choice for KD to request a trade, but in the interview, the player said that the whole thing wasn't difficult for him. He said that he just went to the management and told him he doesn't like how they're preparing. The player added that he's not a huge fan of shoot-arounds and that he likes practices. In fact, KD allegedly told the franchise, "I need more," and that he wants to be pushed harder and held accountable more often. He also said that the closeouts and shell drills weren't enough, and there need to be more of everything in order for him to be successful and for the whole team's talent to be utilized to the fullest. KD also said that nobody was on the same vibe with him. He had a lot of complaints over the summer, and he clarified that not everyone was related to him specifically. Just the way the team was going at the time didn't make sense to him. Coming up, has KD changed his mind about the Nets? That's what it looks like right now. Durant seems to be feeling a bit better because of Jacques Vaughn. It seems like he's on the same wavelength as KD. It must be a relief for the Slim Reaper because it's what he wanted for the whole team, to be pushed. The power forward was also constantly on the ex-head coach Nash's back about wanting to make everyone's life easier. The only way to do this was more practice. That way, everyone in the NBA would still respect the team. Kevin was definitely right about that. The Nets did make a fool of themselves under Steve Nash's leadership, and there was so much more that could have been done to make everyone reach their full potential. KD said he didn't want to be a part of the team that looked like they were full of S, and that's the sole reason he wanted to be traded to a better place. Now, is changing the head coach really enough? The answer is both yes and no. The Nets don't have to get ahead of themselves right now. It's the last thing they need. Vaughn's addition to the team is a positive move, and it's worth noting that Kevin Durant endorsed him, lending credibility to the decision. He said that the team has been showing up for practices, the energy has been great, and their preparation is finally getting better. Even though they've lost a few games recently, the spark is back, and if they keep going this way, things are definitely going to get better. Another interesting thing KD talked about in this interview is how when the team does well, it looks like he really loves the Nets. When you love something and that thing isn't working out, you're bound to feel hurt. This definitely helps us understand the whole trade request situation. Even though the team's been through a lot and the season just started, Durant is in high spirits. He and the team have been showing up every single game night, playing as hard as they possibly can. This is definitely the kind of thing that keeps the players and Durant motivated through the losses. Next up, where does KD stand as an individual player right now? Durant hasn't talked about himself much lately. In this interview, though, he talked about how his own strategy and the one with the team. The 12-time All-Star has seen a lot in his career. The offseason was extremely turbulent, and now that Irving's suspended and we don't know when Ben Simmons is coming back, fans were worried about KD KD. After all, he has to dodge 5 defenders and is completely alone on one end of the court, but it seems like Durant is focusing on the silver lining right now. How this whole situation is just him getting to improve his game as a player. After all these years playing basketball, winning All-Star MVPs, Olympic medals, championships, and even Rookies of the Year, he's seen it all. In the interview, Durantula said he's glad he's getting to experience everything in the league. The player admitted that experiencing the good and the bad in the NBA has its downsides. He said that this is something that he wasn't expecting, but it's still part of his journey. There are always going to be obstacles. He's right about that. KD has seen so much, and according to him, he's got a perspective on all the bull S players in the league go through. Honestly though, it's refreshing to see players like him, who's been in the league so long, have a positive outlook on tricky situations like this. Moving on to Durant's views on a healthy work environment and leadership in the NBA. As we mentioned earlier in the video, this is one of the most honest conversations KD has had, and he opened up about one thing that has bothered him for a while. It's extremely important for athletes to be professional. They can only get better if the work environment is healthy. KD dished on what he thinks is important about work environments, especially in the NBA. He said that he's always wanted to hold front offices and coaching staff accountable, which is something that you would expect a leader to do. Kevin Durant has done that with this team for a while, but still his name is never brought up in conversations about leadership. He called people out who he said wasn't a leader just because he didn't tell Kyrie to get vaccinated or condemned him for leaving the team. Durant said that it's not his job to tell a grown man what to do or what not to do with his life. All KD can do is have a conversation and exchange perspectives, but he can't be expected to change a teammate's opinion. KD didn't get into this too much and plainly stated that he just doesn't operate like that. Finally, what future does KD want for the Brooklyn Nets? After 16 whole years in the NBA, Kevin Durant has had a pretty great run, and it's not ending anytime soon. He's still a top-level player, which is inspiring in itself, but KD has always wanted to go deeper and set examples for everyone else. If you're in a not-so-ideal situation, you can definitely learn from KD. Even though the Nets aren't anywhere close to being the best team in the NBA right now, he wants his teammates to build up the confidence and believe that they have an actual chance. Durant also made it a point to let everyone know he was having a good time on the court. He said he has his Achilles injury to thank because it made him value and enjoy every moment he's on the court. KD also talked about how playing the game is the journey and the battle. He has to be mindful of many things at once, like being coachable, knocking down shots, and being nice to his teammates. Durant's been carving out his legacy since day one, and he for sure is going to go down in history as one of the best NBA players no matter what. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the interview? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.